Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity. This match is going to be between Hyvva and Light. We'll see how it ends up working out. Hyvva's one of those golden spots for Estro. They've been struggling a lot lately. I believe they are in last place, even below Air Force Ace, and they've actually been down there for quite some time. It's really disappointing to see. I like seeing kind of the mix-up in the leagues, but recently it just seems like it's been Samsung, SKT, and Oz dominating the top. Hero actually not doing so hot themselves, so at least from what I've seen thus far in Pro League, a little bit behind actually. I'm quite a bit behind across the board in all the standings. I know that Oz just absolutely dominates Winners League just because of Jaedong. But anyway, Hyvva, one of those guys I'm not quite sold on yet. He's been really good here and there. I haven't seen a lot of games with him in it, and I think that's the only reason why. He'll be starting at the 12 o'clock position as the red zerg. 6 o'clock position we have Light as the orange terran, and he's one of those guys that's been consistent forever. So I really have a hard time not favoring Light here. He's one of him and C and guys like Stork. They're just consistent, and Bisu. Those are people you just can't look over when it comes to Pro League play. Jaedong, I guess, would be in that category as well. Just people that are so consistent across the board, and I believe his best matchup is against Zerg, and he's on Destination. Destination, a very heavily favored Terran map, something like 60+% against Zerg, mostly because that third base is so difficult, that third gas in particular, so hard for Zerg to take. Standard Medic Marines are strong on this map. I believe you can pull Mech as well, but I really feel like Light Strength is just his Medic Marine. And you can just go with that force, march it up the map, and Zerg has to do something amazing to just hold on at the 3 or 9 o'clock location, whichever gas they decide to take. I feel like almost standard play is disadvantageous towards Zerg. They got to go, I don't know, it feels like Mutalistic play tends to be the standard opener. I feel like lurkers with the ramps could be helpful, but even then, it doesn't last very long if you just add a tank or two along the mix. Anyway, we'll see what Hyvva can do. Looks like he is setting up for a 12 hatch. The opposite side looks like Light has not yet scouted, so sending that scout up the map. He is not sealing his front door, which suggests he's just going to go for that standard Medic Marine. Anyway, I really wanted to duel this game with Rise initially, and I'm kind of doing it out of order. I kind of want to do all of the Estro versus MBC games. We'll see if I have time to get it done. Special thanks, by the way. The reason I haven't had as much time to do commentaries is because I have been working. Special thanks to, again, all the people who've donated. Really helped me get past last month and this month as well. Now gainfully employed at a very stressful job again, and trying to get a more full-time position that's not quite so crazy stressful as usual. And I've actually got some interviews, so go me. Scouting into the base looks like a spawning pool as well as the gas is added alongside. And I really will see that, so maybe speed Zerglings to kind of support this immediately afterwards. Looks like Light is going to get his command center out. Hyvva coming up and scouting that. Doesn't look like there's going to be any drone harassment by that SCV. Just going to chill out there and scout it for the time being. And a single Marine running up. No additional Marines being produced. So Light being a little bit too aggressive, I would say, here, because he's just assuming that there's not going to be any Zerglings produced. Granted, there's a larva going completely to drones, but he hasn't had a scout on the secondary to see any Zerglings maybe being produced there. It looks like actually the Marine trying to... Okay, it was actually cycling out to the 9 o'clock maybe to try to catch an Overlord there. And it looks like the lair... So a 2-hatch build, the lair actually being morphed at the secondary. And Hyvva doing it without really creating any scout blockade. So he's just showing it directly to Light and going to say, hey, you do something about it right there. And I've got to assume this is going to be 2-hatch Muta here. Only 2 Zerglings produced. Single Zergling just trying to chase off that SCV scout, and let's see if the second one blocks the ramp. Second one actually headed down towards the to the 6 o'clock position. I think maybe that Marine scout might have also been to just make sure that there wasn't a proxy hatchery at an additional location as well. But as soon as he just makes sure, double check to make sure that it is in fact a... Well, that wouldn't make much sense, so ignore me on that one. Academy going up, and Light is in fact going for that standard just SK Terran build. Heavy Medic Marines, layer being produced, and let's see if he gets... I got to assume with the scouting, he's a good enough player with the SCV that's been in the space as long as it has. He's going to have a pretty good look, a pretty good idea of what he's up against. He knows he's going up against Aspire at this stage because that Hydralisk Den has not been plopped down. I don't think Hyvva is really going to switch it up. Moving up, it looks like 6 Zerglings at different locations. There's that Spire being placed at the secondary. Light in full view of it as well. Now the question for Light is does he just... Oh, it looks like some Zerglings do manage to sneak down there, and the Marines being a little bit complacent. So they will be able to maybe... Yeah, it looks like they're going to be able to sneak an SCV kill, so that's at least something. But enough Marines that they should be able to... Ooh, a second kill. Nice on Hyvva's part. And a couple more Zerglings flooding down. It looks like Hyvva's moving a drone down. He might try to open up that back mineral wall, so flooding out a couple extra Zerglings just to be annoying in the meantime. I think Light's going to start working on that weapons 1 plus that range and just skip turrets altogether. And a couple Zerglings managing actually to sneak in the base, and it looks like that engineering bay was being built. That SCV kill on that engineering bay is actually huge because that's going to delay turrets, which is going to make that Mutalisk harass even more powerful. And it looks like more SCV kills to boot, so Light having a lot of trouble actually dealing with these Zerglings that are running into his base. More Zerglings going into the secondary. Looks like they're going to be able to pile up the kills, and that's emptying the secondary for the moment. So Hyvva doing a fantastic job of forcing Light back with just Zerglings. Very nice, and he's going to take a third hatchery now at the 9 o'clock to boot. So let's see if those Mulisks can push out, maintain map control now after this, and maybe actually between the Zerglings and Mulisks he might have in a second, he might be able to crush this attack force if those Medic Marines do not push back under the protection of a couple turrets, because if there's 5 mutas that are being produced right now, that plus the Zerglings, they might be able to crush this attack force, because that's not a lot of Marines and medics on the front door. Light's playing it a little bit cheap, although the Zerglings will have a hard time not being in open ground on that field, and already expending, okay, that Overlord will end up dying as a result, but already expending a stim pack, and that's critical because that drains those medics of energy. And you really don't want to be expending that unless you're getting a significant kill. That Overlord is helpful to boot, but usually you want to save it specifically for those Mutalisks. Looks like there's, I think that's 3 SCVs on gas. Range still in transition, and the turrets look like they will be up in time. So Light, I thought for a second there he might end up being delayed, but doesn't look like it. He's going to be at least quite a bit delayed on weapons 1. No, I take it back. So that turret not quite up in that back edge. So Hyvva is going to be able to kill that SCV. Oh, maybe able to kill that SCV building turret. No! And Light getting completely caught up position, playing a little bit dry. He's going to have to bring those Medic Marines back to deal with the Zerglings attacking the secondary turret down there, opening up the Mutalisk harass over the mineral only, and now the Mutalisk's coming in to support, and Hyvva is putting on a real clinic here against Light, and I've got to say, Light not playing up to his full potential here, but Hyvva really exploiting it, using some nice micromanagement, nice distraction tactics to get his 3 bases running. And this is exactly what you want to do as a Zerg player, is just harass the Terran opponent while you continue to macro up and keep it with cheap units. Because keep in mind, Hyvva's done this with very few Zerglings. He's only done it with a couple of Zerglings and a couple of Mutalisks to boot. Hasn't really committed all that much. He just hasn't committed a lot of troops to this sort of attack pattern, which makes him a very dangerous player. 2 Comsat stations going down. Light still has no idea what level of tech he's up against, and this is usually the stage where a Terran player will be able to push out of their base, but because of the excellent harass from Hyvva, able to actually even keep that second gas down, using the Zerglings to kind of run in and being, oh wow, going to be able to take down that turret in the secondary once again, opening up the Mutalisk harass once again, going to be able to take out a couple more Medic Marines and keep them low and light, and now they're actually going to have trouble making it across that bridge. Let's see if actually Light actually might not be too, it wouldn't be too bad for him to maybe put down a factory, maybe even get a Valkyrie up in the air to try to support against these Mulisks at this stage, honestly. It looks like he's going to be very much delayed, though, at the very least, because he hasn't had that second